It's fucking crazy. Getting blown out by a lot of corona and this and that. Hey,
What's doing, big fella?
what's going on, my best, my fucking mate?
I don't be like that so early in the chat.
You know, if I was gay, I'd probably have half of you. You know,
Have half of what?
I'd probably go half of you. You know.
So you only put in 4.5 inches, mate.
Yeah, well, we'd have to decipher, each other and a little bit of each way recognition there. But
Who's pushing and who's pulling?
anyway, I'm putting on DC.
Yeah, I can't see anything in the chat, mate. I'm on the phone, so.
Yeah, I'm fucking flat out here. It's fucking bullshit. But I'll put on DC. Hey DC.
How's it going?
DC?
Yeah, good. Yeah, still on the road, still traveling, but I'll be home pretty soon. So, yeah, all good. How are you blokes going in Starlag, Australia?
Oh, mate, just come back from Rocky.
Rockhampton?
Yeah.
How's that?
So no issues up there. No fast face masks or anything like that, mate. So no fuck, mate. Fly up there, did some work. So no bullshit. Like I walked in like a dummy, fucking wearing a face mask, coming from Brizzy. And then I looked at a couple other people, no masks, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I said to the chick, like, you don't have to wear face masks here. And they're like, no, nothing like that. No restrictions or anything like that. I'm like, fucking bit of freedom.
That's good.
It's quite amazing. Like, still in Queensland, but you fly 1 and a bit hours, or you can drive 5 hours to get there. And totally different fucking restrictions. Like, what's going on in this country, DC, since you're the doctor of knowledge?
Mate, I'm very far from that, but thanks for trying to talk me up. Nah, it's what's going on in this country is that we got to tell the politicians to stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Like, it's just, we got to a point now that people can't, do shit. Like, how's it going in Sydney, Poppy? Is it still like pretty strict restrictions and all that kind of stuff?
Look, mate, for me personally, I've tried to go get my vaccine, and he said to me, "Look, you can't get it because you're under 40." And then he said to me, "You wait till you're October to get your vaccine, which is Pfizer."
Yeah.
And it's just a total fuck around, Look, I've dealt with all fuck arounds before, but this is the, I just want to go get it. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. See, that's half the problem. The problem is we're being told all these artificial limitations, like you can't get this can't get the vaccine until some time, and that's crazy. This is why it's so slow. It's been such a slow rollout. Just craziness, and then they wonder why there's an outbreak. There was an outbreak, but I had to have a laugh. I had to have a laugh, Poppy, because I saw the news that New Zealand locked down over 1 case. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. So Australia's not quite the retarded brother anymore.
Even at me at work, I might be a little bit of a harsh person or whatever, but I won't let anybody near me. I just I create my own workspace where they are, team leaders, and and I have to do money for the what I call it, the thing, whatever. But I'm just like, no, nobody's near me, you know. But if I have COVID and AstraZeneca, well, I don't really give a fuck, you know. It's a totally different fucking situation.
Yeah. Well, it's up to each person what they want to do, but it's it's for me. I just decided to get it. I didn't care. How about you, Craig? Have you got yours yet, or?
No, mate. Like, I'm not a sort of jab person or anything like that. My immune system, mate, is like pretty high. I don't get the flu or anything like that. So, and same, like, we want to go back to the Philippines, stuff like that. We've got houses, bakery, fishing boats. I've got heaps of shit over there, mate. But if you have to do like a 14-day lockdown and I've got 4 people that I'm paying for, like, what the fuck? What the fuck would I do that shit for? You know, it costs me more than what Poppy's Bitcoin's worth. So, and Poppy mightn't believe like what sort of bloke I am. I come across as a fucking yobbo and all the rest of it, and that's why I like sort of like listen to you, DC. I see you like on fucking heaps of different channels and stuff like that. But logic thinking, mate, like fucking and the reality of it.
Yeah.
I reckon fucking Poppy's better off going to New Zealand and starting to push fucking sheep over the edge.
Hey, I'll tell you now.
Like back in the 80s.
Mate, when it does open back up, you won't be going nowhere without vaccines. I'm 100%.
No, but we'll wait that time out, mate, because like fucking for that simplicity of it, it's not free now, like, and by the time you go over there and all the rest that you've got to do. So, mate, save a few more dollars and fucking when it's open. Well, what's the point in having a holiday? It's all right being in the Maldives when it's open. Like, obviously, you've done a great thing and you've sort of catched on to like a great sector of it that it's open. But you know what the Philippines is like. So,
definitely. It's a different story with the Philippines. They've got a different set of rules. And I actually went to another country after Lady E went home. I actually went to another country that's completely open, and I went there as well. So I'm doing the round tour of open countries at the moment.
Half your luck, mate. Half your luck.
But look, I'll tell you now. These PCRs are here to stay for the time being. So if it does go back to normal travel, people will have to be used to being either vaccinated and getting PCRs. So I guess JLB probably won't be traveling anytime soon if that's the case, because he's pretty.
No, I hear all that from hearsay. Like,
well, it's true. It's absolutely true.
I'm not a negative bloke, but like I hear it hearsay. Everyone says, "Oh, this and that," and that's when rumors start. It's like Poppy's fishing trips, mate. I caught this fucking big fish, but as soon as Craig Cliff comes on, he says like fucking Poppy's riders and this. This is general, like what I believe in, but I believe in a bit more in life. So,
look, that's fine if you don't want to travel while that's going on. You mightn't be traveling for a while. That's all I'm saying, because this won't go away anytime soon. I got my bloody PCR test rechecked like 3 times, and on the way through, it's they're really serious about it. If you haven't got your paperwork together, you're not going nowhere. So
I'm good, DC, with paperwork and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
When I'm not pissed, mate. When I'm not pissed, I'm as sober as fuck and as smart as fuck. So
yeah. Look, I'm just saying that there's no idiots traveling at the moment because you got so much paperwork, and you got to time the test to make sure it covers your end destination, all the rest of it. It is a lot of extra work compared to what you remember from, we can just jump on the plane with your passport.
Let's
I understand all that, mate.
Let's talk about you. You had to put a lot more fucking information through there, and you've gone to the Maldives with let's just say a Filipino girl.
You can say that. We know who it is.
And
knows who it is.
She is Filipino.
You've had a really great fucking time.
It was a really great time. It was unfortunately we had to cut it short early because Philippines were doing some silly things with countries they were banning. So they were being a bit silly.
Oh,
we were a bit scared that Philippines would be Maldives would be added on the list, and she couldn't get back. So we packed up early.
Well, Chad, hang on a second, Pete. Can you give me guys a second?
Yeah, just mute yourself, and me and Craig will talk. It's all good, man. Yeah, so Craig, I was saying that we just had to pull up stumps because the Philippines were adding every other day. Were adding like a new country to their banned list. You couldn't fly back in from, and there's been heaps of cancellations with OFWs trying to get back to Manila and not being able to. So I basically said to Sess, don't want to be left stranded in the middle of nowhere. Better to pull up stumps and go back early. And she got back fine, so it's all good.
Yeah, there's always next month or another 6 months, mate, to catch up again. So, it's just knowing what's going on.
I'll tell you now. I'm glad I did what I did, but it'd be very difficult to do it again because it took a hell of a lot of effort, and it is pretty resource hungry as well. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it at the moment. It's better to just chill and see what happens. Like you said, just save your dollars again and just chill and just wait for things to work.
Are you saying like literally like phone conversations, for communication to get back to the Philippines, ringing the government there or that, or are you talking emails, or are you talking what would you say, like just trying to register something over the computer? Because obviously you're not mailing anything there or doing anything different, like working through political channels, not from your behalf, but like just general, like how hard is it, DC?
Well, you just got to keep your eye on what each country is doing, because from one day to the next, it could totally change. And the Philippines government's got a very nasty habit of just changing things the next day without any warning. So,
like the Australian government, mate, with lockdowns and stuff. Like, I'm not really interested in like this sort of COVID bullshit. And same with talking about politics and that. I like hearing people's stories and good adventures. But yeah, it's sort of interesting to hear, but on the same stance, like, mate, I'm more of an out there sort of guy.
Yeah, you're in a different position too. So you've got the luxury of waiting the time out as well. So you're in a whole different situation.
My wife wants to get back and see her mum, but they talk every day on like Messenger. They do video calls. She's been set up like some sort of kiosk that they've got bolted up to the front of the store, and it's like 1 peso.
1 peso. That's pretty cheap. So I guess one of your. Well, yeah. I mean, in terms of, not wanting to be political, that's fine. But that's kind of if you have the ability to travel at the moment, you got to just watch. You got to like keep your eyes glued glued to like all the new updates because something could change your plans real quick. Oi, why'd you mute me? What's the go? Poppy, we can't hear you, mate. Or at least I can't hear you.
Well, I just want to explain one thing, and you guys are going left, to and from, like, it's this and that and all that kind of stuff, but it's really hard, like, for a foreign person like me or Craig, and we want to find a really good girl, and then represent them, and yes, you have to put their thing forward for you and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to really look after yourself, where you have to have a really big thing going on at the back end of years to create a look. It's just hard, like, if you really look after a girl and all that kind of stuff, at the back end, you're gonna cop it at the back end,
You found it already, the good girl.
Anyway.
What do you think, JC?
What's up, mate?
What do you think, JC, with the looking after the good girl, but you're gonna cop it on the back end?
Men always cop it, mate. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how well you take care of somebody. You're still going to be the victim at the end of the day, aren't you? Because there's always something that puts you in the shit with girls. So it doesn't matter what you do. That's my experience anyway. I don't know how you guys found it, but I reckon you. I don't know. It's just whatever you're comfortable accepting in the end. Whatever you want to do, Poppy. It's not for me to tell you what to do anymore. You're a big boy.
Yeah. Well, do you really want to? Do you want? They don't want me to tell me and all those kind of things. It's just it's situations between themselves.
Yeah, well, it's complicated, isn't it? Men and women.
Yeah. Well,
It always has been.
let me ask you one question, DC.
Go for it.
Are you 100%? Like, I'm just gonna ask you this question, and you can ask me this question back. Are you looking for a girl that can do everything you want and be your 100% girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I know it's a very hard question, DC,
No,
because
not really.
I've,
Yeah,
I've
pretty
had,
much.
look, I can tell you 100% DC before. I've thought that I had that girl, and she fucked me over, and it fucked my whole life for, I'd say, 12 years. Because her excuse was, and she was an Australian girl, but it fucked my whole life because she said all you done was work. And all I
Yeah.
done there was tried to save for a house. But she fucked me. She met a different person or whatever, but it totally fucked my whole life, DC. You know?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. The funny thing is, she wouldn't have thought twice about it after doing what she did. She wouldn't have thought twice about it. That's the funny thing. And they say men aren't romantic, and it's like I find that when women make a decision to cut you off, they don't care. It's like they will basically let you bleed in the gutter, and they got no
Yeah.
more emotional attachment to you. It's actually quite funny. Guys cop it a lot worse emotionally in some of those long long-term relationships. It's something that men's communities are talking about quite a lot now. Whereas the woman, she don't give a shit. She just looks at you like a resource. So, with exceptions, but it's like, yeah, damn. I understand completely what you're saying with that one. I get it. I get it big time.
And there's there was probably 10 years of my life that I spent thinking to myself that I was the fuckwit in the in the relationship.
Well, that's it. Some people don't appreciate hard work either. I mean, you got to try to nurture a relationship too. You can't just work to live. But it's a pretty raw deal if you're working your guts out to try to support people, and then they say, oh, you got to stop working. But of course, you stop the hours and the money goes down. Then I'm sure there'd be a lot of bitching about that too. You just got to try to find a balance, and you got to stay away from people that are going to judge you like that too.
My thing is in that relationship, like I was paying like fucking $200 to $300 a week in fucking let's just say green grass,
Yeah.
and she was smoking the fucking,
So
so
she was a pothead. That's never a good start. But anyway.
yeah, but that was just a relationship that we went into,
Yeah, it sounds like you're pretty young when that happened too. That's you got no idea. That's half the problem. You get if you're young and you haven't experienced life, it's so easy to fall into. I don't know how the other two blokes here feel about that, but it's so easy. I know all my major mistakes happened before I was 30. When it comes to women,
Yeah, you just look at the back of those places and you just think, man, you're a fucking idiot.
yeah. Well, you just got to learn from that experience. Don't be with that kind of personality of woman again. But also, use a bit of feedback as well. Like sometimes they do have, even though they're shit ass people, you might want to. There might be some feedback in it for you too. Like just get a bit of work life balance and all the rest of it. Just to make sure you're not working 24/7. You got time for someone else in your life. You know what I'm saying? But having
Yeah.
said that, you pick a good person to start with, because sometimes you think people are good and then you see the real people that they are, and then you just realise sometimes there's a lot of bait and switch too, you know, where people put on an act for you, and then when they think they got you, they'll switch back to their real personality.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing with Filipinos. Like, I really like MG, but there's a lot of other things going on there. I don't know.
How's it going, Craig? Craig, you there? Craig's not there. Damn. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's like that, eh? I mean, you've just got to learn from experience and move on, man. Don't let it shut your life down. I mean, yeah, that person wouldn't have thought twice about knocking you out. So, you know, just learn what you can and move on to the next one. There's bazillions of women. You don't need to be stuck with one if they're not the right person for you.
Yeah, Graham's there. Was there what Graham says?
All each to their own, Graham. I disagree with that. There is definitely a balance point. Totally disagree with your comment. Because I've been in that situation myself. You can be a workaholic, but you won't have time for anyone. That is a fact. Yeah, Craig, you're back again.
Yeah, mate. How is everyone?
Yeah, going well. Very cruisy. Just got off the plane. Ready to get on another plane. So, what did you think of that, Craig? Apparently, my advice was the worst advice ever for trying to find work-life balance. What do you reckon, Craig?
What you're just talking about? What Brad was talking about, like trying to meet a girl and
Well, I was just
stuff
saying
like that.
there are some
right
people
one.
that there are some people will Poppy's situation, like for example, Poppy's situation was this woman was apparently having a go at him for not having enough time for her. And I was just saying, look, there's a point you've got to try to find some work-life balance too. Like, say you've got as best you can the best of both worlds, but apparently Graham thinks I'm an idiot. That's all right. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you're not going to be able to nourish a relationship very well if you're working 24/7. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, it's cutting in and out a bit.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you. Can people hear me?
Yeah, I was just wondering if people can hear me as well.
Look, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Craig,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You're muted, Craig. Muted,
You're
Craig.
muted.
Yeah, no, I'm off again. I just want to test the panel, like test on the bottom of the phone, mate. It's only new for me, DC.
Yeah, all good. No, it's all good.
In real life, mate, I'll box Poppy for $1.
Righto. Well,
Sober and drunk.
that kind of didn't answer the question, really, but nonetheless.
No. Back to the conversation, DC, with Craig Cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's not a race. Just one step at a time, and marriage these days, you know, what is it? A ring, a piss up, you know. I know the girl wants to be secure, but
20
I
grand.
reckon you still got to spend lots of time with them to get to know them.
Fucking 20 grand, DC. When I was
like you and Lady E
25, my
done.
mate spent
DC,
35.
you know, that's the start, you know. Maybe there's a future there between you. Maybe there isn't. I don't know, but that's what you got to do, you know. Bring them out to Australia for a holiday, you know. See how they like our country.
Yeah, well, it's now down to
and with your assets, I think if you kept a relationship where you just brung her out on a holiday, I think that wouldn't be too bad either, you know, because you get to see them. Maybe not get married. That's the road I'm going down.
Well, it's each to their own. I mean, it's like it's whatever works for you. It's whatever works for you, I guess. I mean, you know, Mystic Rock Spider and the other bloke that, you know, she
Sorry, mate,
carries
I didn't
around.
understand what you said. It's cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. Is it just me? It might be my connection because I'm on airport Wi-Fi at the moment.
Craig, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I can hear DC.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So what I was saying was that there's a few weird arrangements out there. So there are no rules really. It's whatever the two people are happy with in the end of the day. So yeah, I guess that's my point. I was just saying that Mystic Rock Spider and a poor abused husband, if that's working for them, well, I guess, you know, it's up to them. But yeah, as long as they're not hurting anyone else.
I just think each to their own, mate. Just get out there and have a go. Like in Kamagutsa, it's like falling off a push bike or falling off a motorbike at 180
Sorry, guys, I think I've got to
kilometers.
go. I can't hear anyone.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, Craig, because various things. I had problems with StreamYards on iPhones and things. So yeah, log out and log back in, see if it works better.
Poppycock, how's the boat going, mate?
Yeah, it's great. Got a big boat, but even Craig was like, maybe you need to sell the boat and go more on your house and pump it out.
Mate, take another 5 years. Take another 5 years. Get the value out of the boat and then sell it. So it actually depreciates the right way, sort of thing. So
that's actually pretty good advice, because I reckon after, like, you don't retain your, like, any kind of real value of a car or like that kind of depreciating asset for very long. Like as I say, it halves value the minute it walks off the lot. So
yeah, off the floor, lot, you can call it as you do. So enjoy it, Poppy.
With the calculations that I have, me boat's probably worth. I paid 9,495 for it, you know, and my house I paid. I offered 980. I got it for 960. So that's cheaper than $1 million. I'm going in there with the repayments with the house. It's a 7.
As long as
me
as long as the repayments aren't too much more than what your general, like, a rental agreement is, you'd be all right. Yeah. Even if you break even, sort of thing like that.
Your payments on the house is $730, and I'm getting 820, 830.
Well, that's a good return.
Yeah,
that's a good return. And you can sit that for 65 years, and off you go.
That's not even with me renting the granny flat in the back. So the granny flat is 330 to 380. I might do that for 12 months and actually absolutely smash the mortgage out of there. And I was looking at a thing today. If I really want to, I can pay 30-year mortgage off in 10 years if I pay $700 a week extra.
Yeah, I don't want to know your personal finances, mate. I'm just here for a chat.
Yeah,
Everyone's in that situation.
just
You
saying,
you
like-
could buy 5 houses, 5 rental houses. Like buy one, get like the equity right up in one, buy another one, get the equity up in that, buy another one, and off you go, mate.
That's of course.
You just
but-
you're too fat with fucking 9 inches that fucking doesn't want to do anything.
Oh, if I do that, I'll buy Department of Defense housing, and
I don't think that. I
then-
don't think that's the
then
grand
money.
tour anymore. Doesn't the Australian Army look after that sort of thing when you buy into that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, they will guarantee 10 years rent. They'll do all that kind of shit for you. You don't.
Yeah, that talk was
You don't have to worry
still
about-
in like the 80s and 90s. So
No. If I do it now, you don't have to worry about anything.
I'll go for it if you can get a good deal out of paying more. Then why not? I think that's always a better way to do it if you can. Anyway, minimum repayments only works towards the bank's favour. So
yeah,
Well, within a year,
agreed, Declan.
own a house there with Department of Defense housing and put more money into it, and within 10 years that they have guaranteed 10-year rent and all that kind of shit. I mightn't be the owner of the house, but I'm gonna have a fucking lot coming for me. Like, I'm not. Look, I spoke to Craig, and a lot of other people that I want talk to. Like, I want to be 55. That's it. I'm fucking retired. And the place that I bought now, I can do that in 50. I'll be 52 if I want to put the extra money into the
So you
place.
brought a house. You brought a house, Bobby, or
Yeah, I bought a house. Like 9 fucking 8 960,000. So you more or less say it's $1 million.
yeah, round numbers. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
So for the house and the place that lives on the front of the place, it's I'm gonna get rent 780 to 800 per week, and that's the studio and the house. But once the real estate takes that off it, it's 950, and then there's a granny flat on the back. They want 380 to 400. So we pull that back to whatever the real estate says. You have to pull it back a lot, and they're going to take their percentage. With the three of the places that I bought on there with the property, I'm getting $11.50. So that's with
So
the
you've got
three.
some good advisors. You got some good advisors around you.
Not really. I looked for the last 12 months to buy that fucking property,
All right,
But
fair enough, mate.
So the main thing
it's gonna,
is, Poppy, is it putting money back in your pocket? Is it putting money back in your pocket? Is it doing that, or is it costing you money?
it will, but I have to do separate fucking electricity to the studio on the front of the house, and the studio. So I haven't got a thing on that, but I reckon it's going to be at least $3 or $4 grand to do that, to put separate electricity on to everything. But after that, yes, I'm gonna cop. My mortgage. I put fucking 350 grand on the loan. So the loan's 960. It's gonna come down to 3. It's gonna come down to 730 something. And then I've got some more money there, and then I'm gonna pump the cunt. So.
How old are you, Poppy? 36?
I'm 40.
You're 40. Hit it as hard as you can, mate, now.
Yeah.
As a single man, stop sending money to fucking like MJ and stuff like that, and just hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah, I look at a lot of things, and look, if I can hook it, hammer the cunts, as long as I really hard as I want, it's going to be, I can pay the cunt off within 10 years. But even if I can't, there's a little bit this and that. It's going to be 12 or 13 years. So
In the end,
I don't want to pay a mortgage for 30 years.
No.
I'm 40. I really want to retire when I'm 50 to 55. That's my plan in my thing, So I have to really do what I need to do to be able to do that situation. You know what I mean?
You're getting a bit deep for me, mate. You're getting a bit deep for me to talk on YouTube about.
Look, if it's putting money back in your pocket, Poppy, that's all you need to worry about. And you've got enough there for slippage in case the government goes free fall and loses, jacks up interest rates. Or the market forces jack up interest rates a little bit, and you can still cover it. That's you've got to have some slippage there too. But sounds like a good plan. Just bite off more than you can chew, and chew like hell, like they say. But real estate will never lose its value. Really, I don't care what they say about property bubbles or whatever. Sydney certainly won't. I don't think. But on average, it'll keep going up. It's just you got to stick in it for the long haul to see the rewards. But yeah, real estate's I feel pretty much a winner as long as the property's a decent one. But in Sydney, if it's in Sydney, the Greater Sydney area, you should be fine.
The thing is there, mate, like, they like with the thing with the rental income or whatever, they're paying between the two of the places, or even if I want to go to three of them, they're paying 1,100 or whatever. Even if they're paying between the two of them is 800, and me interest, like me mortgage is 750. I could still stay where I am and still punch it out, you know. So I just really need to think about what I'm going to do. Where on the other end, I'm going to have to come there, and if I want to punch out $700 a week extra, I have to move to the other place. But
Oh, sounds like a plan. You got something in place, and finally got the house. You got a house, and it's one you're happy with. So that's the bottom line, I guess.
but it took me so long to look for that, you know.
Yeah, well, I told you why. The Sydney property market is insane. You rock up to a viewing, and it'll be a silent auction, even though they're illegal, unless it's an actual proper auction. But that's ends up what actually happening behind the scenes. People put in like silent bids against each other, and the buyers laugh all the way to the bank.
Also, there, you know, you talk to Filipino girls and you say, "Oh, I spent this much money," and you know, our girl's the only girl that she said to me, "Well, good on you," you know. She never asked about any money or anything like that, you know. Where every fucking
What was the name, Poppy?
MG or fucking that, they're always asking about money.
Yeah, well, that should give you a bit of a tip off, mate.
Yeah. It's a hard question there, DC.
Nothing's hard in life, Poppy. It's only the cock, mate. It's only the cock.
Oh, getting very deep and heavy here on Poppy, Craig. So you want to lighten
Mate,
the tone a bit?
That's the type of bloke I am. Like I said, mate, I've done my time in the Philippines. I met a good chick, mate. I've built stuff there and all the rest of it. I might look like a yobba. I got a 4-story house, basic house, fishing boats, bakery, fucking everything else. Couple other blocks of land, and on a general wage like you, DC, I've done all that sort of stuff. If I had money like Poppy, I'd be a fucking billionaire over there. So it's one of those stories. You hit luck when you hit luck, and if you don't hit luck, it's just like you've been in Australia, mate, going out, hanging out with the blokes, fucking running around the streets and stuff like that. So it's too hard to explain simplicity. Like Poppy seems like he's on the market doing all this house stuff. Mate, I've done a couple of houses, made a few dollars, and on the other things, I've just worked hard, mate, like fucking, or not worked at all. So enjoyed life. That's why I smoke, drink, do whatever I want. I haven't got the best haircut, the best shave, or anything like that. So, mate, I'm starting to think about going to the gym and fucking getting big and bulky, but I work in gyms now fucking every day doing maintenance work. and I see all these fucking testosterone little fucking fucks or fucking 40-year-old blokes that have got fucking Instagram things going, look at me, mate. Like, and I just go, like, you fucking cocksucker, mate. And they look at you like, it's not like old school for certain blokes and other schools for other blokes. So you got to differentiate like things. That's why DC I like listening to, and I see on other things. And same with Craig Cliff. You've got an opinion. Poppy's got an opinion. Not everyone's going to be the same. So
Yeah, Sardino, I'll just quickly address Sardino's comment of when are we going to be travelling overseas again? Having done it myself now, I would say wait till everything opens up a bit. It is more expensive. It is more problematic. It is stupid people aren't travelling at the moment. You have to do so much paperwork. It is a lot of paperwork. You got to watch for the next day's potential change that's happening in the environment, which might see your flight get cancelled or you can't go back to somewhere, or it's a lot of logistical headaches. So I would wait, just let everything settle down and just save a bit of cash. So when it does open up, you can have a good time. That's I went for my own personal reasons, but it's one of those things. It's not for everyone, and I took a lot of risks actually. So which have been managed pretty well, if I do say so myself. But
yeah, but you're sort of like an informant sort of bloke, DC. You actually look at stuff and everything. You probably spend more time on the computer than most other people instead of just watching live streams or general bullshit. I'll tell you a story. Like back, I don't know, what was that? 13 years ago, I spent $2,500 and booked it on the day, on Christmas Day, just to fly on a plane because it was erratic. It's like, got to get back over to the Philippines, have a good time.
Yeah. I look, those days are gone for the moment. I hope they come back. I hope that sort of thing comes back. The more people push on these security and border measures, I think you'll see it break down. But at the moment, it's you couldn't pick two worse countries to try to commute between. Philippines and Australia both have got like very strict border control in and out. So it's going to be a while. Let's put it that way.
So why bother taking the fuck around? Like, just wait it out. Like, everyone's crying, like, oh, I want to see my girlfriend or see this or my wife or I'm dying for this. There's always something down the road locally that's closer that you can spend a couple of dollars to get your load off or whatever. So,
what do you? Oh yes. Well, there's always that, I guess, if you're so inclined. Just okay, yeah.
I'm trying to be etiquette.
I'll leave it at that.
Have a bit of etiquette in this conversation, DC, with you.
You take the ferret down the road, do you, Craigie, sometimes?
Oh, mate, you never know what I take down the road, Craig Cliff. So,
Yeah.
I'm an out there sort of bloke, mate. So
what's it's interesting. Levy Kuhn has said in the chat that there is a lot of countries that are now saying that it's your right not to take the vaccine, but your employers will be asking you to have the vaccine to go to work. What do you think about that, guys?
Well, it's happening in Australia, mate. You can't go like I'm working in Sydney if you don't get a shot.
No jab, no job. They reckon soon.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that was my position, unfortunately, very, very early on. So, which is why I always was going that way. And I haven't died yet, as I said, but it's up to each individual. I still believe in civil liberties, and that is outrageous. I think to a certain extent. I think it's just absolute bullshit that people are forced into it. But it's anyway. Christ, it's
Well,
just
that's how it goes, mate. Like, this is what politics does. I don't want to get into this, but I just flew up to Rocky and did one day's work. No hassle at the airport. Just walk in, boom, up there. Free masks, like no masks up there. Everyone's just random, like out and about. They're jogging, mate. And that's Rocky. I sat outside because I didn't get like a balcony room. So smoking, went down, took me coffee down, or took me 2 beers down, sat out the front of the hotel behind a tree. And, mate, like, how the fuck is this happening in Queensland, let alone over Australia, for people dictating, like, oh, across the border you can't do this? Man, the employment in Australia is very low. Like, they say what do they say? The unemployment rate's fucking 4.8 or something like that in a population. How many people watching this are unemployed that aren't making, well, not unemployed, but aren't making 120, 150,000 a year as general? If you want to work for 30,000 or 40,000 and you can survive, fuck, man, I don't know how you do it. And it's like going to the Philippines. We all say, like, oh, these people only make this much per day, but they survive and they fucking enjoy themselves way better than what we do, making fucking 50 times the amount of money. So,
yeah, I must admit it is hard to, like, you do need a certain level of income to sustain a certain type of lifestyle. It's true. And I remember when I was earning. I remember my very first job, Craig Rosin. My very first job paid me $9,000 a year. Like, just think about that. That's in the early '90s, though. But $9,000.
DC, you're not as old as me.
I reckon I'm pretty close. I reckon you and me are. How old are you?
What are you? 43, 44?
47.
Oh, you're a year older than me, mate.
There you go. So $9,000 a year was my first job, and I remember it was nowhere near enough.
Well, was that
even
when you were
back then.
15?
No, I was just out of high school, but it was like that was a wage for a year before I got a pay increase.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about the average. I started out like you, mate. I was on like fucking $486 fucking a week when I was 15, fucking back in those days, because there was no what would you say that, like, what do you call that, fucking age curfew or age sort of discrimination on what you did. Because I'm a cabinet maker, shop fitter, turn into something else and turn into something else. So even though I look like I do, yeah, sort of just test and barrier. It's like having a fucking 9-inch cock. I wish for one of those, fucking, but yeah, 6 inches are all right, but never had to wear a condom.
Oh, jeez. Righto.
Don't want,
A little bit too much information, Craig,
fucker.
but yeah,
I don't want the fuckers slipping off and fucking then I get them double pregnant.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be on a low wage. I've been there, done that for many years, and yeah, it's not fun. Not fun at all. So I remember a flatmate of mine used to be an electrician, and I started getting a few pay increases, and we're about the exact same stage of our careers. He was still in his apprenticeship. Oh, just wait, just let me talk. And he was still in his apprenticeship, right? And he wasn't getting paid very much. As soon as he left his apprenticeship, he started like pulling in the big bucks. Holy shit! It was like, I'm in the wrong game. I should have gone into a trade.
No, you turned out all right, DC.
Yeah, I think so. But it's, you only have to be happy with yourself, mate. I don't care what anyone thinks of me. So I'm
exactly. I'm with you. I'm floating on the same boat, but fucking, if I had to push you over the side on a bunker boat because you didn't get out when we hit the reef, you'd be fucked.
He'd be
I guess I
living-
would.
Just joking, mate. It's all for humour for poppycock. Craig Cliff understands, so
I understand.
I don't think all you guys, yes, you have to gone through a pretty bad thing, but you can probably talk to Craig there. When I fucking started out as an oyster farmer at 16-year-old, left my fucking school, and my dad said, if you can find a job, you can do it. And I was an oyster farmer. Some of the cunts said, man, look, fuck it. I don't think there's any fucking profile or any you can do to go through the thing that I've done. You know, that was a very, very, the first day that I got there was a bloke there that said to me, I said to him, "How are you?" He just looked at me. He goes, "I was born with no friends, and I'll fucking live with no friends, cunt." And he just looked at me. Yeah. And this was a situation that I got dealt with, So,
Do you think it was a bit of hazing, Poppy, to see if you'd go the distance, see what metal you were made of? Or was he just an arsehole?
No, I became good friends with him through the thing, but he grew up in a housing commission house, and he was a very, you could learn how tough he was with the I'm trying to think of a thing, but it with him it was like how big his hair was out of his nostrils, like the cunt was like a fucking, he had nose hairs that were like fucking 12 inches long, and he had like fucking air hair, like his ears were like never ever looked after. Like it was just like he was like a it was like something that you would go to in a like a you're going through the like Astro, like going through. It was just totally different,
So what
Like,
you're saying? He had a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He had bad personal hygiene, and he was a bit of a cunt. That's what you're saying. That's what I heard.
Man, you never even looked at him twice. If you looked at him twice, he'd fucking slap your face.
You can tell
He's a
people that have
horrible
been damaged, haven't you? These people have been damaged over their lives. Like
Yeah.
some people
And-
will try to test you in the workplace by behaving a certain way too. But if that was his real personality, then he can go fuck himself. That's a pretty ordinary way to treat a
But that's
a
just
15-year-old or 16-year-old just out of school. That's bloody bullshit.
no. He was like 30, you know, and
That's
I
what
lived
made people.
and I
DC.
lived and I lived next to him in a like a thing of a house, like what do they call it, a government thing of a house. Like I lived next to him, like two houses down. Where I lived in the government house.
Well, you don't have to be friends with everyone, but you just don't want to. You know, it makes it just annoying and hard to work with people with a shit attitude.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when I went there and I moved to the like I was with I'm trying to think the government housing commission, what they call it.
Yeah, housing commission.
Yeah, but I was in some kind of thing. I just have one house there, but like before that, I lived in a housing mission house compound that had 9 of them, you know, in a row. So that was a big thing with me. But when I moved out there and my dad got into the housing commission house, so it was just one house. And then when I went to work at the oyster farm, and then when I went there and tried to learn how to work, like I was really young, you know. You have to put your balls on the line there as well. But there's certain circumstances like you can't really explain it, you know. Well,
Bobby, are you hard up on your circumstances and did you come out all right?
mate, there is no thing that where I wouldn't become what I am today and actually fucking my family there's a lot of things that my family is gone, you know, I've had a lot of problems or I've had a lot of bad experiences or whatever, but I wouldn't change it for anything, you know, because it's teach me to become the person I am, you know.
DC, have you been through the same situation in life or you were given a golden spoon or a silver spoon?
No, man.
I was lucky because my parents were pretty organised.
I got
So
a fucking shit spoon. I got a fucking shit spoon.
yeah, well, I think
Bobby, we know your story, but I just want to hear from DC.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, yeah, my parents were pretty well organised, so they'd already, you know, I came from what I would consider a middle class background, but both my parents were from
that's straight off the bat when you were born.
Yeah, pretty much. But they were from like dirt poor backgrounds, so they'd built up to that middle class. Like they were telling me stories about when they were kids. They were, you know, that there was no social security, and you know, my dad had to go and work when he was 13. He had to leave school because his father died. There was no one else. He was the oldest boy in the household, so he had to go and do all that. You know, to support a family of 6 kids or whatever. So, like, he had to do all that kind of stuff. They were dirt poor for a long time. So, and by the time I came along, they had all their ducks in a row, and they'd accumulated assets, and they'd done all right. So they were always very big on saying, you never got to see this, but you go out into the world, we're not going to help you. You get to play
Yeah.
all by yourself in the sandpit, mate, and you got to learn that lesson as well. Now, if you get in trouble,
So you were
you get into
single.
trouble,
You
you
were
need to
single
learn to get yourself
child,
out of trouble.
or you had some sisters,
Oh, I had 2 older brothers, mate.
brothers. I thought sisters. So
No, 2 older brothers. So
Yep.
so they got nothing basically from my parents. They'll basically go out into the world and here's a very token amount of cash to get you started, but from there it's all you. And the best thing that ever happened to me, quite frankly. I feel sorry in some respects for the idiots that get trust funds and all the rest of it, and then they just have no perspective on what it's like to be on the other side. I think that they're kind of deprived in some respects of that knowledge.
no,
It-
fair say, mate. Fair say.
teaches you and the others a little bit more, doesn't it? You know.
I told you I'm an educated bogan. I really am. But it's like, you've got an opportunity, to, because they're not getting any worse, is it? Or if it's if you feel like you come from a hard background, then that teaches you a whole bunch of things that you can apply. You just need a break.
That's what I'm trying to draw out of Poppy, to make himself a better person, instead of fucking whinging about having like an MG or fucking whatever the first girlfriend was. First time in the Philippines is the most important thing you'll ever do to learn about like what life's about. Off the back of Pete and stuff like that. And mate, I've listened to the stories. I've got a bit of memory. So
I'm not fucking complaining about that.
get down to the knock shop. Get down to the knock shop in the local place where you live, puppy, and fucking just knock them off and fucking week by week. Don't show them the 9, give them a 7, hold your cock on it and give them the 3. So enjoy life, mate. But I know you're a businessman. I know you go to work and you do that, but fucking don't get too old too fast. Social media will kill you in this world now.
Well, it won't, but that's my place. But
It will. It will. You're a dumb motherfucker, man. Fucking, I'd love to come down, but you'd never ask us. Never ask me and Tony. I'll go pick Tony up and come across and we'll drive down there. It's like 9 hours drive, mate. Let's go out on your boat and fucking christen that motherfucker. Yeah, no advanced thinking, motherfucker. That's why we never see any videos with any of your mates out there on the boat with you.
where
Yeah,
where
big-
are you? Where are you, big dog?
Where am I? In Australia, mate. I'm not JLB stuck in fucking Adelaide.
Don't give me this shit. Where are you?
Brisbane, north side of Brisbane.
Well, if you can come down there to I'm gonna get me house and the boat there at Central Coast. You're more welcome to come down there to Central Coast. I'll if everything whatever, you can stay at my house. I'm more than welcome to you to stay at my house,
Thanks, Bob.
and we can go out there on my boat.
No, thank you, sir.
Okay?
As long as Craig Cliff's there.
There's no we're gonna go out there and look, everything's going to fucking plow out there, the fucking corona fucking bullshit fucking this and that or whatever. Radio.
Wasn't talking about any of that bullshit. We might need to make up a new topic then.
Yeah, but if everything goes whatever, you're more than welcome to come down to my house. You can stay at my house. You can we'll go on the boat. We'll fucking do what we want to do. I have no problem.
Thank you.
You're a
Thank
fucking
you, sir.
legend.
Thank you.
All right? I don't have no problem with you. You're a fucking legend. There's a lot of
You're full of piss
here.
and green today, but tomorrow might be a different story.
No, that's me and you together forever. There's a lot of other fucking people here that I fucking find as a piece of shit. You know? You're
Don't be
a
so
straight
hardy.
up
Don't be
motherfucker.
so hardy. It's YouTube. It's YouTube, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. You know?
It's only put my face out on Poppy's channel, mate. So, now you're a good soul, mate. You're a good soul. So,
I am, as long as you don't catch more fish than me.
fucking fishing's luck, mate. Fishing's luck. Fishing is luck.
Craig will come over. Man. We'll see what DW is.
Even to wash the boat after. Mate. Fuck, I got some like horrendous stories. I had a boat like yours, and fucking my uncles used to go, I caught this fish. I go, you wash the fucking boat, mate, or you don't get the fish. And they go, we're not washing the boat. At the boat ramp, I go, you're fucking not taking the fish. Because that's the biggest responsibility on a boat is washing the fucker down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it costs you so much money. Like in fucking 3 years, 5 years, deterioration of the boat costs you a mozza, mate. Yeah.
DC can do it.
Yeah, well,
DC would be a genuine sort of bloke. So
I think everyone's a bit generous. I think, I'm just a human being. I've got flaws too, guys. You don't have to pump me up too much. I think, having said that, I wouldn't be adverse to meeting new blokes at some point. Just keep the cameras away.
no cameras on our crew, mate. Poppy can do a live stream, fucking like general, and then afterwards it'd be just fucking full on fucking roll it like it rolls. So like he does, like, yeah. It's like my life. Like we've got a channel and stuff like that in the Philippines, and I do it. And the wife always goes, "You're good at speaking. You're good at this, and all the rest of it." And we've travelled a bit more than like Poppy and yourself, like all over the Philippines. But enjoy it what it is. And mate, I'm not like a YouTuber or anything, but I like the live stream so you can have an opinion. And Poppy's probably one of the best that you can actually say something that he doesn't take too much offense. Like he'd say, "You big fucking fat 9-inch fat fucker," but you can actually have a decent sort of conversation when Poppy's sort of semi-sober. But he's always pissed. And like me, I'm always pissed. And DC, I know you don't drink, so not
On the
too
road,
much
I
anyway.
actually-
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of little bottles of Johnny Walker Red in the hotel I was recently staying at, and I really don't see the attraction. I was like, Jesus, these little sample bottles is more than enough. I only had 2 of them.
Yeah, each to their own.
God.
Each to their own. So.
I don't know how Poppy can go through a liter of the stuff. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
geez.
each to their own. But so it's hard to like I don't know over YouTube. It's hard to like conversate like how people are. So
Yeah, you
like, we
don't get
could all
it.
meet up. In,
You don't get an
no,
idea of the
you're
real people. Yeah, sorry, man.
nah,
You don't get an idea of the real person. It's just what they project on you.
yeah, no, so true.
Thanks, John Fisher. Johnny Walker Red is the shittiest drink you could have. Yeah, I know. They did have black as well, John Fisher, but I decided to see what all the fuss was about. It's been a while since I indulged, and especially with spirits. So I had to go and immediately regretted it. I must tell you, immediately regretted it. Oh God, it's like bloody paint thinner. I don't know how anyone drinks that shit. You have to mix it, surely.
Probably the
Hey,
best advice. Probably the best advice for Poppy is roll the comments, like, and just comment on the comments to make more of a story.
yeah.
To get everyone like interacting together, Poppy.
I tell you what, that's the best cure for COVID of all time is that Johnny Walker Red. Christ, bloody hell! Talk about antiseptic. Whew. Poppy, he hasn't had the vaccine yet. John Fisher, he's
With you with the antiseptic, what do you reckon?
I'm saying Johnny Walker. Like I had a couple of bottles. I don't know if you just heard. I just had took the luxury of just get a couple of the little bottles out of the minibar of one of the hotels I was staying at of Johnny Walker Red. Just saying that I haven't drunk spirits in God years, and it's just oh man, it was like paint stripper. It really was. It just like immediately like the burn. It's like yeah, that's got to be have a good antiseptic quality to it. So COVID's got no chance against it.
Hmm.
The solution isn't vaccines. Just get pissed.
So DC, are you staying on the top end or the bottom end at the Maldives? Like when it comes to like style of living, I watched a couple of like Enchantress sort of videos.
Oh, you just saw a couple of the ones Seth posted. So it's
Yeah, I've watched a few of them. Is that the top end or the bottom end of it, or the low key or the high key of it?
it's that was all footage shot in the resort we were staying at. So it's all it is what it is. I guess it's like it was a good experience. I haven't sort of had the sort of tropical beach experience, but it's Seth was saying it's like Philippines except pricier. So there was that. So it was okay. It was interesting to be in the culture because it's like an Islamic Republic, although on the softer side.
It's on off the bottom of India or something like that, isn't it?
It's south of Sri Lanka. So
Yep.
it literally, if you Google Maps it, it's like these dots in the ocean.
Yeah,
A few
I
hours.
did that.
A few hours south of Sri Lanka. So, so it's but it's popular because it's one of the few countries that has no quarantine, so you can just go there. So,
Yep.
yeah,
That looks impressive. Like, I sort of Googled that like fucking 10 years ago and had a look sort of thing. Like, it always came up on those fucking house looks, like, have a look.
yeah, it's okay, but it
Settings,
is pretty remote, and like outside of the resorts, there's not a lot really extra to do, really. So, and the resorts really try to gouge you for cash. It's you're staying there any length of time, like you really feel it. But apparently they're far less pricey than what they were pre-COVID times. Apparently they were 10 times the price of what it was when pre-COVID times. It was like a real sort of luxury
Dear later.
destination. But since COVID times, they just had to drop the price a lot to get people to get the volume back. But the week that Sess and I left, we got told that they were basically 100% occupancy across the entire country almost. That's how many people were coming into the country.
Yep.
So it was. So it's a fairly popular spot. It's also some companies in the Middle East are using the Maldives as a waypoint for their workers from India to quarantine. So they also had a bit of that going on as well. So that's another thing that pumped up the occupancy rates, I guess.
Yeah, bit more corporate body sort of stuff. But
one way or the other, it was an experience. It just happened to be the setting that Sess and I got to meet. So it was all good.
No, well done. Well done.
Yeah. And besides that, I've seen a couple of other countries along the way, so that I added to the bucket list, cross off the bucket list. So it's been great. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing what I did. You have to be prepared to take a lot of anti-risk measures, and have a lot of backup plans. I don't think the average traveller could do it. Considering the bullshit that's going on at the moment in terms of the amount of paperwork you need to wade through just to get on a plane.
All right, got a question for you, mate. Do you watch any other like Bold and Bankrupt or Harold Boulder or stuff like that? Like on people that are actually still traveling, but these cunts. I say cunt, like general speaking. But do you watch them and see that they're traveling all over the world like you're doing? But all us dumb fuckers are staying at home.
No, I haven't heard of those particular people. I wouldn't say you're dumb. Look, there is a system in place at the moment that is very, very determined to keep people in the country, and you can't get permission to fly. I mean, the only way I got out was through the bubble. I object to being told when I can't travel by my government, and so bad luck. I went out on the side through the New Zealand bubble, and that's a risk in itself, because outside the New Zealand bubble, you don't get the standard. There's a lot of standard things that go away once you leave the bubble. That's what people may not realise with the Australian situation. That is, you don't get travel insurance. It's very difficult to find an insurer that will cover you as an Australian, because
it's not like you're riding a motorbike or fucking doing anything dangerous.
Yeah. So you're basically taking on a lot of risk. Not that I've ever had to use travel insurance anyway, but it's like any insurance. You don't need it till you need it. But do enough digging, you can find companies that will cover you. But the easy sourced companies won't. So there's that. So these guys these channels that you're naming, who are travel channels at the moment, what nationality are they, Craig?
One's like fucking from Harold Boulder is like he's a Swiss something, or no, he's something else. And the other one, they're very, mate, just check out their channels. Like fucking they do it. They were very wealthy men before, I think. And they just got off the beaten path and gone, fuck it. Like probably, if you got 2 Bitcoins, like fucking, you'd be out there just doing life. So
Yeah, so
No,
there's that. If you're not Australian, I mean, Australians and New Zealanders have a lot more like obstacles put in their place, and also Philippine citizens as well. I think we've talked on other streams about how difficult it is for Philippine citizens to actually travel at the moment, because the PBI takes a perverted interest in basically every minor detail and looks for excuses to deplane you, basically, for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So yeah,
understand what you're saying.
yeah. So that kind of thing is, so there's a few countries that it's just really hard. I took a risk and it paid off. I got absolutely fantastic experience out of it. Because there's not only meeting success, but also just having the opportunity to go to other countries I never had the opportunity to go to before. As I said, I added a few things to cross off my bucket list in terms of countries to see, depending who was open. And it's one of those things, man. It's like I don't bag anyone for it's, as I said, not easy. It's not easy. They make it deliberately hard. And even just my PCR for this leg of the trip I'm doing now, I had to have my PCR looked at 4 or 5 times over a couple of different stops, just in the particular route that I'm going.
In Australia now. You're back in Australia now?
No, I'm still not in Australia.
Where are you at?
I won't say for now. I'll tell you when I'm back in Australia, but I'm getting close to the end. A few more plane trips, I'll be back in Australia. But I got to get back to work in the next few weeks. So.
No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Yeah. But it's all good. But I would say to the average person, stay still, save your money, and just wait till things are a bit more organised. Because it's not just the difficulty of coordinating PCR tests and all that other garbage. It's also the availability of flights. Flights get cancelled at a moment's notice, and all sorts of things go on. So, traveling becomes a lot more stressful than it was in pre-COVID times. It's now a lot more volatile as well. Things will just happen. Bad luck. This flight's cancelled. Tough shit.
Totally understandable, mate. Totally understandable.
Yeah. But so I've had my holiday. So when it does open up, and you guys, it's your turn. To go out and do whatever you want to do. But it's I wouldn't risk it again in this environment, because it's just the things change. The whole stress of watching everything change daily. I mean, the amount of the changes that have happened since I've been out of Australia has been incredible. You've had all sorts of world events and policy changes and all sorts of things that impact on